What's a commercial you'll never forget? Mr. Owl. How many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Roll Pop? I still giggle at the life alert, I've fallen and I can't get up commercials. They even have a newer batch of them out. Ricola Sacks. Clap on, clap off. The Clapper. You, alright? I learned it by watching you. Quote. Collect call from Bob Wahadababytsa boy. Who was that dear? It's Bob. They had a baby. It's a boy. Who's a celebrity no one can hate? Rick Moranis. I mean, the guy literally gave up his acting career to be a full-time stay-at-home dad when his wife died. Mr. Rogers' smiling face with hearts. Maggie Smith. Dolly Parton. Alan Rickman. He made an a-hole like Snape somewhat likable. But honestly, never heard anyone say anything bad about him. But I am young. In relative terms. To his career. I've never heard negative shit about Tony Hawk. What is the greatest TV show theme song of all time? DuckTales, of course. X-Files. Gilligan's Island. The Jeffersons. Greatest American Hero. Sanford and Son. What's a sport no matter the skill level, that you don't find impressive at all? Speedwalkers just look so funny to me. Big game hunting. I'm a shooting sports enthusiast. But I see no sport at all to driving a Range Rover up to an elephant, rhino, lion, etc. and shooting it with a rifle. I appreciate hunting for food. And I appreciate long-distance rifle shooting. But shooting a trophy animal from a distance with a rifle does not impress me. If you're hunting the ghost in the darkness, then okay, I'll give you props for that. But not for shooting some animal standing at a watering hole from 75 meters. Speedwalking. Crazy to me that it's in the Olympics. Competitive eating. Yes, it's considered a sport. Quidditch. Sorry, quadball. They recently were showing cornhole on ESPN. What's something Redditors like to blindly hate? Probably when other social media sites steal posts from them. As if Reddit doesn't do the exact same thing all the time. A lot of the time. Just people who enjoy something. They always feel like they have to convince you why you should hate something. Edit. I am not talking about people expressing a different opinion. Just people trying to invalidate yours. There's a difference between sharing a different opinion and just being a jerk. Literally every other form of social media, as if this place is any better. As I read through the comments here, I started to think that maybe Reddit is mostly about blind hate. That's a thought that'll sour your mood. When they ask a question and don't get the very specific answer they were looking to hear. Relationships. Help. My husband doesn't put the toilet seat down. Answer. Break up immediately. Quote. My girlfriend fell asleep during sex. Answer. Break up immediately. Quote. What movie will never get old? Full Metal Jacket. In particular R. Lee Ermey's performance. 12 Angry Men. Terminator 2. Alien, 1979. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Over 50 years old and still a badass banger. The Thing, 1982. What are some common facts that people think are true but actually aren't? Juice detoxes. A healthy set of kidneys and liver detox your body just fine. Shaving makes hair grow faster. Removed. That antibiotics treat everything. I have a nurse friend who is appalled by the amount of patients that demand antibiotics for like a cold or the flu. Napoleon was not short. He was slightly above the average height for that time. Marie Antoinette never said, "Let them eat cake," while talking about starving peasants. Human beings don't have only 5 senses. We have way more. Sense of time. Balance. acceleration, just to name a few. People don't just use 10% of their brain. We use practically all of it. Arthur Conan Doyle's Sherlock Holmes never said, elementary, my dear Watson, that different parts of your tongue have specific taste receptors, like one part can taste salty, a different part can taste sweet, etc. Even so, some schools are still teaching this. What was the biggest bullet you dodged? I was dating a boy in high school and we were so in love. We started talking about the future. After graduation. About moving in together and getting married. We split up because we were teenagers and those short, passionate high school relationships never last. He got engaged to another girl a month or two after graduation. Started dating her not long after we split up. He cheated on her multiple times. Then ran off and married a completely different girl less than a month after breaking things off with her. He has been married 6 times and he's also recently been arrested for statutory rape. For about 4 to 5 years I was hanging out with a guy from high school. I stopped hanging put with him when he eerily started getting into drugs. And not the fun drugs like mushrooms or LSD. More like heroin and meth. He murdered his mom about 2 weeks ago. With the 2 youngest siblings, 8 and 6, in the house. Not moving to Maine to live with a guy who said he had undying love for me and wanted to marry me. But also believed, it isn't rape if you're married. The meth addict ex. Near the end he was fucking anyone to get drugs. Apparently caught HIV from it and lied to me about it. There is a chain of infected guys that all tie back to him, but nobody wants to say anything. BC he knows people's addictions. Dodged it and I'm glad to have. My life isn't perfect now. But it's far better than what it could have been. I had a crack pipe up to my lips and my life flashed before my eyes. Decided not to hit it and gave it back. The guy who tried to get me to do it ended up in prison and I never gave him my new address after I moved. Lol. Years back in high school there was a girl in my class who had a crush on me and she had her friend ask me out for her. I politely declined because I wasn't interested. When we all came back from summer break she came back pregnant. And she jokingly told me one day, referring to her enlarged stomach, this could have been ours. Subscribe, my brothers.